The reason 95% of dropshippers never grow is because of this, the e-commerce chain. And when one of the 5 links breaks, the whole thing falls apart. So ends your chance of never becoming a profitable store. And sadly, by the end of this video, many of you are going to realize the reason your growth of your store is so static is because you've only been focused on this part of the chain and possibly that bit too. And I'm afraid a 2-link chain is useless. But luckily, you're also going to learn the tools used to fix this, just like these 2 stores did. But before we get onto that, let's reveal one of the biggest problems you have right now, which is the 4th link of the chain, using Facebook ads. You've been told countless times to run Facebook ads because they're so wildly profitable, but it's simply not true, and that's because it's not 2017 anymore. Facebook ads are simply so hard to convert cold customers that don't want to see your products on their Facebook feed. So does this mean you have to go to Instagram ads, Snapchat, or even TikTok ads? Well, actually, it's none of them. Because the best dropshippers in the world all know that you have to give the customers exactly what they want. And these other sections on the chain have to be your main focus too. It's not just the first part. Now, you're probably wondering what sections are left on this magical e-commerce chain. So let me reveal the first one to you, and it's actually the most important one. It's about what I call your avatars. Now, for growing a profitable and successful store, you have to understand where your ideal customer is at all times. And that's what holds a majority of store holders back. They don't focus here anywhere near enough. Alfred, how many times have I said to you if you can find out where the customer hangs out, dropshipping will be easy?
6.489 million times.
I wish she was joking. But how do you work that out? You move on to the 2nd link of the chain. If you want to transform your store in 2 months, then start researching and looking for patterns 30 minutes a day. This is what all the best dropshippers in the world are doing, all of the time, and you'll notice the results of them doing it too. For example, when I made over 10K in one weekend, it was very easy to start and scale and find other winning products that all copied the same pattern. Launching multiple stores and getting them all to the same level became effortless. Now, what's cool is to find this information, all the answers are right in front of you. Using Google, we can see what is actively selling and how easy it is to come in here and compete. And the beautiful thing is, we don't pay for impressions, unlike Facebook, Snapchat, or TikTok. But shh, don't tell BHEZ of this. Now, if you do this, you need to make sure you're learning from stores that are actually profitable, not store owners that are just constantly burning money on ads. Because there's nothing worse than thinking a store's doing well, you look at their winning products and discover weeks later that they're just burning money on these. To get around this, you want to make sure you're only studying stores that are profitable and actually bringing in customers. Then you can move on to the next link of the chain, planning. This is where you take all the information you've learned from the first 2 links and then decide a way to put it into the strategy. The first step is to have a target you actually want to achieve in terms of profit. Because this is where a ton of new dropshippers fall down, because most of the time they set it way too low or way too high. So go and look at your bank account and your monthly expenses and then ask yourself, how much money can I realistically invest into a store? Because a broke dropshipper that goes, well, I have 50 bucks, so let me just start a store now, then forgets he has rent due the following Tuesday. And that's what wrecks new dropshippers when they underestimate how much it takes to run a store. Yes, you don't need thousands, but chances are, to find your first winner, you'll need more than 50 bucks. Which brings us on to the link most people never focus any of their energy on. The 4th link, suppliers. And as I said at the start, this should be a byproduct of all of the other links. Suppliers can make or break your store, and it's vital you find a good one. You see, what tends to happen when you start to see good sales come in from your stores, bad suppliers can cause this to fall apart. Chargebacks, refunds, angry emails start to come in, and this will creep up on you if you're not careful, and what can take a profitable store on the front end to a store that loses money on the back end with all the returns. Many of you won't do this bit, and then many of you will do far too much of it. This is the final part of the chain, and when you focus on it, it will ensure that every time you repeat this whole process, you get better and better. Now, this part is the one that has cost me over 100 grand, and it still gives me sleepless nights. That was Jeff. Jeff failed one of the most important parts of the chain, and that was to kill products that were unprofitable in your ads. Beginner dropshippers will tend to hold on to products that will drain their bank account like their first child, simply because they thought it was a sure winner. People say you need to test hundreds of products to get any traction, and actually, I kind of disagree. What you need to do is understand where your customer hangs out and then capture them at their peak buying time. There's no magic number to aim for. That could be 10 products for one person or 10,000 for another. All of our journeys will be different. Just don't hit launch and expect different results if you're not hitting each 5 parts of the chain. And don't ignore this video here, as it's going to help you fix section 2 of the chain and show you exactly how I made £10,000 in 2 days, all in the comfort of my pajamas.